Moving on from question number 5, we're going to get to question 6 of logical reasoning drill set number 8 over at lawhub.lsac.org. We already have a highlight tool ready to go, and we're going to read the question stem as always first and highlight the task terms. So 6 reads, the conclusion of the argument follows logically if which one of the following is assumed. So conclusion follows if which is assumed. So we're looking at just a variation of an assumption task. We don't need to get into the weeds about whether this is a necessary or sufficient assumption. We just know we're looking for something that is necessary to believe the conclusion. So then moving over to the paragraph on the left with our highlight tool still selected, we read from the top, no reported case of telekinetic power has been replicated in a controlled scientific environment. Thus, since only phenomena that warrant investigation by major research institutions are considered legitimate by most scientists, no reported case of telekinetic power is considered legitimate by most scientists, and we need to be careful, don't highlight the whole sentence, but hopefully you can recognize that this term of thus leads directly to the conclusion here at the end, and the word since indicates our evidence. Now, when we're dealing with a arguments such as this, I probably do want to note what I believe is a relatively clear term shift. It says, no reported case of telekinetic power has been replicated in a controlled scientific environment. And we then find out that since only phenomena that warrant investigation by major research institutions are considered legitimate, we've got our gap in the argument. We need to show that the investigation by major research institutions is going to occur in a controlled scientific environment. And you can use the underline tool if you want to focus on this. You don't want to make it in any way more kind of apparent than the conclusion that you've highlighted in pink. But if you're like, these are our terms that we really need to compare against and find the linkage for in our correct answer choice, it can help expedite things. So now we're going to go back to our highlight tool and we're going to look for reasons to eliminate, understanding that our common wrong argument task reasons to eliminate are going to be things that are ambiguous, have a vague impact on the argument, things that are a task reversal, in this case, something that you wouldn't want to be true to believe this argument, or something that is going to require additional information. So starting with choice A, any phenomenon that warrants investigation by major research institutions is considered by all scientists to be legitimate. Well, if we look at our conclusion, we've got most scientists. So as soon as I recognize all scientists, I go, this changes the terms of the conclusion. Immediately, I can eliminate A. Focus on those actions and descriptions for clear reasons to eliminate, and you can go a little bit more quickly through a question such as this. Then choice B, no phenomenon capable of being replicated in a controlled scientific environment is thought by most scientists to be illegitimate. Well, we're not concerned with being illegitimate. We're concerned about it being legitimate. So we can eliminate choice B as, again, requiring additional information that goes beyond the provided prompt that we have on the left. Then choice C, if a phenomenon warrants investigation by major research institutions, the phenomenon has been replicated in a controlled scientific environment. And I go, ding, 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 that is exactly what we expected as our linkage between our underlying terms. So we should be able to select C proactively based on that prediction. Moving on to choice D, any phenomenon that warrants investigation by major research institutions is thought by most scientists to be legitimate. Again, we don't need it to be any phenomenon. That's going to go beyond just the only phenomena. So we can eliminate choice D as, again, just not being necessary to the conclusion that was presented. And lastly, choice E, if a phenomenon has been replicated in a controlled scientific environment, it is probably considered legitimate by most scientists. Well, this qualifier of probably doesn't match our conclusion either. The most does, but that probably is a qualifier that is not germane to our conclusion. Focus on the details, but hopefully you'll be able to work through a problem such as number 6 more briskly when you do so in your own practice.